Why is it so blurry? There we go. That's so much better. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Creative Metaphysical Store. So, I decided to do an update on the Creative Metaphysical Store's products so that way you have an understanding of what it is I all sell. So that way when I refer to different products in some of the YouTube live streams, I can refer you to this video. That way, it'll just have a full explanation, okay? So we're going to first start off with the products that I cannot show on camera because there are not any, because the process, I just want to explain the process. So I make all natural deodorant, which is where I use a combination of coconut oil, baking soda, cornstarch, and then I use a doTERRA essential oil, or a combination of both. So it comes in jars, nice little jars. I can offer it in the whippy form, but I prefer to do it in the hard solid because if it's in the whippy form, it starts to really melt. You always want to make sure that the deodorant is well refrigerated as well. Um, let's see. So the Florida water I make in this very big, uh, it's like 1 gallon. It's empty right now because I just finished taking the herbs and the crystals out. So I'm letting it dry out, washed out and stuff. So when I make the Florida water, also known as the Creative Sensation on my website, I use this big jug to make over how many gallons? 1, 2, 3 gallons and 2 liters. It's a lot. There's a lot of I can make with this jug. I mean, so what I do is a combination of the crystals. I use tumbled stones. I don't use the rough stones. I find that it's better to use tumbled stones. I use those among with herbs and spices with water, and I let that. Sometimes I do use fruit peels as well. I then let it ferment. I'd have 2 ways of doing the perfume process. This is the first way. So I let it ferment till it turns it into wine, and then let the wine turn itself into vinegar, which is over. I leave it there for about a month, sometimes 2 months, sometimes. That's why this is like the later process. So if I'm letting it ferment, it depends on what I put in here that makes the process. So it ferments into wine, and then I turn it into vinegar, right? Which is where I add the mustard seeds. So once it turns into, sorry, give me 1 minute while I look at this message, because my other partner, Andrea Raquel Tolis, is on the line with some people, so she's just keeping me up to date with whatever's going on. Um, so yeah, so have them. Let me quickly text her. I find this is actually very important. She's on the line with some investors, so I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And then share it. I want her to like send a link to these people. That way they can see the kind of products I make. So just give me 1 minute. Have them go to the YouTube channel. I'm talking about the products live right now. I'm gonna put they can ask me any questions, and you can talk there as well. Okay, so that now that that's taken care of, I'm super sorry, guys. So I'm back to the floater water. So let me just reiterate: I use this big bad boy. Now I want to get a second one so I can get two different floater waters like going at a time. There on my website, it's called Creational Sensations, I believe. I have to double check on the name, but I'm pretty sure sensations at the end. I'm thinking it's creative or creational sensations. So I use this. I use a combination of the tumbled stones, the herbs and spices, and I have that ferment. I sometimes use fruits or fruit peels. I prefer to use the fruit because it helps really make it fermented. Um, when it is fully fermented, I take the and strain this out. I strain this out, right? I strain all the contents of the wine, which in of course I could sell the wine, but I'm not looking to sell it right now. That'll be like later in the future because just me personally, it'll be too much of a hassle to sell wine. I don't have that. I don't have that. I mean, I can make wine, like homemade wine, but and everyone has always loved my homemade wine. I just prefer not to sell it at the moment. So then I have the several big jugs of containers where I strain the wine into these jugs. I then use a combination of mustard seeds, and I also do a combination of with garlic. I found that garlic tends to help with the fermented process a lot. Then I strain that again into the garlic that so that I can get rid of the garlic and stuff. So it's like a very multi-step process, as you can see. And then I strain that because it's turned to vinegar. That's when I add the oils. Okay, that's I use doTERRA oils because it gives a stronger scent to it. Okay, um, so I use oils, lots of oils, to get the certain smell that I want, and they are energetically used. Um, it's more I use it for an energetic type. So, say for example, um, you want something that will help you banish an evil entity. I got it with this. I have a combination of herbs and stuff that I use for that. If you're wanting to bless, consecrate the home, I got a special combination for that. So all the oils and herbs and spices are different because each of the different energy types do have a different set of herbs and spices, crystals um, that I use. Okay. While during this fermentation process and through the vinegarization process, I do a lot of prayer work. I have singing bowls, some music on whenever I can in that room, so that way it's charged with the different energies and sounds of the singing bowls or the mantras that I use on YouTube. Other than that, it's pretty simple, and then I just bottle those up with alcohol, half and half. So I do half the solution, then half alcohol. That way, you get a little bit of both, and that's how you do the first process um, of the type of creational sensation. I think it's called creational sensation on the Florida one. That is one process. The other process is basically I just have the herbs and the spices and the crystals that I use in the jug. Then what I do is after I let it sit for about 3 days, I take I strain it out, pour the solution into the different jugs, and I fill them halfway because then I add our alcohol and that's it. I prefer to do the latter process, the one I just spoke of, because of the metaphysical occult properties But of course, if I'm like running tight on time, then I do the quicker process. But I prefer to do the set first process because number one, when it turns from wine to vinegar, wine I like turning it into wine first because of the energy. When with wine, I find it useful to basically entice if you're wanting to attract like certain energy into your home. It's like I find the use of wine being able to think of it like this way: intoxication. You cannot be intoxicated by the smell, so you're drifting off into that smell. So you are it's the smell. It's how it's like I find it good for attracting energy, right? When it comes to when you turn it into a vinegar, that's where I do the energy of banishing certain energies. That I actually switch the mantras or the singing bowls depending on what I'm using for the wine process and for the vinegar process, because the wine is so I put the intention that you want to say I want to attract good energy. I want to attract clean, positive energy. And then with the vinegar, I put the banishing of what doesn't match the original intention that you order for. So I prefer to do it that way because vinegar, if you actually mix vinegar and salt, you can make an EMF neutralizer, and I found that evil spirits, any spirits in general, they end up getting sucked into the glass jar. So, for example, if you went and get into your cabinet and got some vinegar and salt, and you mix it all together, right? You mixed it good. You put your hand over it. You can literally start to feel tired. I've done this before, and it actually drains your energy. And it does the same thing for the spirit. So that's why I always wash my walls with vinegar and salt. The same thing for my floors, my windows, even my mirrors, because it sucks them into the mirror dimension. Regardless, I do this, and it's really really good, really really good. So um, the other products I want to mention is I do make actual talismans, but in this form. So I make different talismans for different energetic types. Hello, Nasha M. Hello, Luana C. This one is for protection. I use the voodoo method as well as the some other energetic methodologies to make certain dolls. In this case, this doll is for protection. It actually absorbs any negative entities, and basically, I based it off the Chinese method, but also the voodoo method. With the Chinese dolls, they have these dolls that basically eat the misfortune, okay, and it feeds off that misfortune, and then it permeates good fortune. So it basically the doll gets stronger the more it eats any negative energy, right? And then it allows itself to be activated for protection. So it gets stronger. You get more stronger protection the more it eats any negative energy. It'll be like stronger. It'll then protect you. So that's how I based it off the Chinese method, where they have the dolls of misfortune, where they basically eat the misfortune, get stronger, so they can create more good fortune for you, right? Here are two different examples of two different materialization jars that I want to show you guys, because one is just wax. It's actually not a finished one yet. So in this one, as you can see, I have little talismans, in this case, crystals and mirrors, even like maybe have like some trinkets or charms. This one's for protection. It actually watches over me, and watches over my home. Lets me know if things are, Um, this is another spelled materialization jar. This one I still have to cover more with wax. This one is going to be for banish. This one is for banishing, and it's going to have some charms of the evil eye, maybe even a 7 Archangel pendant. Like, for example, this one. This one has 7 Archangel pendant. This one is not finished as well. But so I make talismans like this. I do also will eventually start selling amulets. For example, like these. I'll be selling these as well eventually. These kinds, anyway. I do offer paper talismans as well. Trying to think of what else I have on my website I want to get into. Oh, let me quickly grab the Mojo bag so you can see the recent products of Mojo bags that I have to offer. So let me quickly grab this. So, um, this is a heart chakra and prosperity bag for healing the heart chakra, emotional traumas, as well as for prosperity. As you can see, little coins and stuff. I also have this one. This one is specifically designed for prosperity itself. Okay. This one is designed for true love, but also grounding your energy. It has crystals and stuff as well. And this one is for protection. And this one is a Hecatee Mojo bag for the goddess Hecatee. This one is for the third eye and for nurturing your mind, being loving in your mind, because sometimes we have negative thoughts, okay, that we attend, and this will help you energetically to influence that in your third eye, seeing as that it's the mind. This one is a throat chakra bag. It has driftwood in it. It has some howlite. You can see here some white calcite. I think this is chrysoprase here on the indigo gabbro. Indigo gabbro. And it's basically for the throat chakra, being able to express your truth, speak good transformation. Driftwood's good for transformational energy. Now, these are all the recent ones that I have the other ones in boxes, and I just don't feel like going and keeping you guys waiting while I dig those out. Okay. Now, some of these will have charms, trinkets. Some of these will not. Some of these may or may not have crystals in them. Some of these may not have crystals in them at all. So, yeah, just wanted to let you know that they do vary from choices to choices. Of course, you do have the option to pick what kind of energy you want, or if it's intuitional based. I'm trying to think of what else I have on the website. Oh, I have facial masks. I'm going to be offering those facial masks as well because I make those as well. I make it with a combination of algae from the hot springs. I make it with a combination of the clay that I get at the Blakely Dam. I do flour and cornstarch as a thickener, and then and oatmeal. Sometimes I do oatmeal instead of flour. And what you do, it's really messy because it goes in clumps, but it's like a slimy solution. I actually got one in my fridge. Here, let me show you what it looks like. I keep them refrigerated. So this particular one is not made with the clay dam. In fact, this one is made with the oatmeal, the algae, and some few herbs and spices. You can see some mustard seed. I do add sugar in this because you can use it as basically after you use a charcoal mask, you rub this in, then let it dry, and then you wash it off. It's like all natural. You wash it off, and that's what this is for. You basically just rub it in after you do your charcoal mask. It's for after charcoal mask, but you can do it if you want to before. Now, I have had a friend named Amanda who has used these products before. My friend, she gave me good reviews, so that's when I started to make the facial mask available. I've had tons of friends give me good reviews. There are some workers at the Earthbound who I have friends with. They give me good reviews on my deodorant and soaps as well. I have a few good reviews, but I don't have them online. They just tell me, oh, this is really, really good. I would definitely buy this again. So, with that being said, um, I think that pretty much covers everything. Oh, wait, nope, I forgot the candles. So, again, like the candles, I use um, I use beeswax. I prefer to use beeswax and soy wax and do a combination of both. Sometimes I just may have soy wax, sometimes I may just have beeswax, okay? But I do prefer to combine both. I do utilize fresh grounded herbs. I don't use the ones that look like, if you can tell, they're kind of too thick, flaky, right? They're like this. So what I do is I grind them up really to fine powder, and I use those in the candle because I find if I use the one that has more of the flaky leaves, right? Um, it could be a fire hazard, and I want you to enjoy the candle. So I do use crystals. I use chunk crystals and I use gemstone sand depending on what I have. I do gemstone sand like motivite, malachite, stuff like that. Sometimes I do just the chunks of crystals, okay? That's something I want you guys to be aware of. I do use charms in there as well if I'm drawn to do charms. Like little key symbols, a mermaid, depending on your energetic intention type that you choose, okay? And I think that pretty much covers everything. No, it doesn't. I forgot. I almost forgot. I do sell selenite. I will be expanding to selling crystal pendants that I will be purchasing through Amazon. But it's a really good. I was told it was looked at the reviews. They seem pretty good, so I'm gonna give them a whirl. Um, Trying to think here. I do sell selenite and I do sell sage. And I think that pretty much covers everything as far as the products. Now, with that being said, I'm going to shut this live off and I'm going to, later on tonight, I'll be back on live for free readings. You can donate if you want to this channel. Just know that all proceeds go into the YouTube channel and to the stores. So, I hope that before I go, does anyone have any questions? Does anyone have any questions on any of the products? Um, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that anyone may or may not have. It could be even a question on as whether are you going to be selling this in the near term future, and I can answer that as well. I'm open to any new products that you want me to sell as well on my store. This is the store. I'm actually updating the store a lot. So creator frequency.com. I might have the frequency spelling wrong, but so that's the store, and you can use that anytime you want to shop on my websites. But are there any questions before I go? Any questions? Maybe like, do you guys have any special requests? I will first and foremost want to say I make all the products myself. I do work with another individual. Her name is Andrea Raquel Tolis. She and I were off to a rough start, but she's, even though right now she's currently on temporary leave, I'm managing everything right now at the moment. But she usually is able to do readings and stuff. I thought it would be best to put her on temporary leave just because she is also working on moving. So, what are mustard seeds used for? What do they do for you? Um, Mustard seeds are good for anything as far as renewing faith energetically. And as far as what I use them for, when it comes to, for example, the facial mask, I do partly because I put the intention that I believe that this facial mask is going to bring energetic, not just physical healing, but energetic healing, right? Hello, Girl Wake Up Podcast. I'm actually taking any questions on the products on my store, so feel free to ask any questions as far as if you guys have any products you want me to start selling, please let me know in the future, please. Or even now, if you have any particular products you want me to sell. So when I use it for the Florida water, I do it more as a faith of reassuring myself that this is going to work for this person, right? I do it because I have a hard time believing in myself. Faith, mustard seeds are one of the things I use to just renew my faith that I'm going to believe that this is going to work, this is going to energetically work. It's like a reassurance to myself, but also there are some good properties to it. For example, like it turns the wine into vinegar, right? And vinegar is really, really good for banishing all evil spirits and stuff. It's super good. So I use it more of reassuring for myself, but also for its more energetic properties, more so than its physical properties. So yes, what I think I answered the question. It says, what are the mustard seeds used for? Like, what do they do for you? Okay, let me double check to see if she messaged me back. Just because I want my, her name's Andrea Tolis, and she was actually talking to someone who she said that she was talking to some investors. So I'm thinking they're investors in the metaphysical store. And them plus myself. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. I was wondering what are the things hanging from the ceiling? These are my dream catchers. This here that I have here, it's actually a supposed to be a wind chime, but I have it in my house right now. It's made out of like plastic that was made out of from the ocean, like sea plastic mirrors, and it has some seashells. I actually use it for clearing, like so, to clear the energy. Um, oh, that. Thank you for reminding me, Luna C. Um, I am selling dream catchers for $8.88. They are through the Sleeping Tigers import as well. I just want to let you guys know. And I will be eventually selling incense online. I'm just working to getting around that because there are a lot of incense I have already. I'm gonna be buying a new batch, and I'm gonna be offering the ones I have as freebies to like for giveaways. When the channel becomes 500 subscribers, there is I have set aside a whole bunch of incense that I will be giving as free giveaways to all of those who participate in the live. Um, there will be a few raffles as well, and that will also be connected. I didn't make this one. I'm actually learning how to make dream catchers myself. So once I get really good, I won't be investing in the Sleeping Tigers import. I will then eventually be just working on making them from home. So yeah, this one's a triple moon goddess one. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe if I can, yeah. Let me see. This is a triple moon goddess one. That right there, this little red thing is called a dragon root. This is the one I was showing you before, and then if you look directly above, this one is the tree of life one. So yeah, I will. I always see notice them. They are very beautiful. Thank you. I have this one over me when I sleep because I want the triple moon goddess, the goddess Hecatee. If she needs to contact me, she can like filter it through, but like, boop, you know. So, are there any other questions as far as products? Do you guys have any products? Oh, there is one thing I want to let you guys know. Once sales get really good and constant for the Creative Metaphysical store, I will be adding an herb and spice section as well, which that will be another section that I'll have. And I'm going to edit the. It'll be just an urban spice section. We'll have a variety of stuff, from cornflowers to daily life. It'll have all kinds of stuff for your witchy needs and occult uses and all that good stuff. Hell, even for tea or herbal baths. Every you can get an. You'll be able to get an ounce for $1 when my sales get really constant for real. Okay, yeah. I left the link. I typed the thing in the comment section. I was able to look it up, but right now I'm gonna head off my live and I'm going to edit the website a little bit more, and then it'll be fully published. So with that being said, much love, guys. Remember, y'all are beautiful, brave, gorgeous, awesome, powerful, spiritual warriors, shamans, healers, all that in a bag of chips. Mwah. Kisses.